What in the Bible is Joseph. Joseph, the son of Jacob. Joseph is the son of Jacob. One of the sons of Jacob. And when Joseph got to Egypt, God promoted him and became a prime minister in Egypt. And in Egypt, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, entrusted everything in Egypt into the hand of Joseph. You can read that in the book of Genesis 45, verse 7 and 8 and so on. Genesis 45 and 7. Genesis 45, verse 7 and 8. Speaks about Joseph being in Egypt and being in charge of all the money in Egypt was in the hand of Joseph. Every person that is in Egypt was under authority of Joseph. The only exception is Pharaoh himself. Pharaoh said it. And the Bible said Joseph was like a father to Pharaoh. You can check it. 8, verse 8. Verse 8. Genesis 45, 8. Okay, say, now it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh. Even Joseph was like a father to Pharaoh. He was so much respected. Everything that was in Egypt at that time was in the hand of one person, a steward called Joseph. That's another steward. If you are not trustworthy, if you are not loyal, if you are not dependable, if you are not a man of integrity, you cannot be a good steward. I'm coming to that. Another steward in the Bible, very great one, another one, is Joseph, the father of Jesus. Joseph, the father of Jesus. We know the story too. God so much trusts this Joseph that he entrusts his only son into the hand of this Joseph. In the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 13 and 14. It was one that took care of Jesus from his infancyhood. As a child, he brought him up, he nurtured him, he trained him, even though he's the king. He's the King of Kings, he's the Lord of Lords. But he has to pass through that process. And the only person God could entrust his child unto was that Joseph. That's a good steward too also. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So, there are attributes of a steward. For you to be a faithful steward, there must be some qualities that you possess. Number one is loyalty. You must be a loyal person, a man that has a loyal heart. Number two is obedience. Number three is trustworthy. Number four is reliable. You must be reliable. You must be trustworthy. If they don't trust you, they cannot entrust wealth into your hands. They cannot entrust property into your hands. They cannot put properties. They cannot put gold, silver, diamonds, millions and millions of pounds or dollars in your care. You must be reliable. You can say, this guy is reliable. When he says coming by 8, it's coming by 8. It's 8 is 8. It's not that somebody says I'm coming by 8, he will be coming by 10. That's not, you are not reliable. If you say I'm going to do something, yes, you are going to do something. I'm not going to do something. A principle person. Number 4, dependable. Number 5, integrity. Integrity must be a man of good character. A man of good character. A man of strong character. A dependable person. All these were found, all these men were faithful in their lifetime. They were faithful. They were faithful stewards in their lifetime. Eliezer of Damascus, Joseph, the son of Jacob, Joseph, the father of David, they are all faithful servants in their lifetime. They all possess the qualities I've mentioned already. I mentioned above. These are faithful men. They all possess all these qualities I've mentioned. So if you talk about faithful men, then there must be also unfaithful steward. I've spoken about faithful steward. I want to speak also about unfaithful steward. Let us open our Bible to the book of Luke chapter 16. Verse 1. And I'll be reading from verse 1 to 13 or 14. And I want you to listen carefully. You can also read. Also. And he said to his disciples, there was a certain rich man who had a steward. We see the word there. Who had a steward. And an accusation was brought to him that this man was wasting his goods, was squandering his money. So he called the man and said to him, what is this I heard about you? I hear about you. Give an account of your stewardship, for you can no longer be steward. Then the steward said to himself, what shall I do? For my master is taking the stewardship away from me. I cannot dig. I am ashamed to beg. The man is talking to himself like, what am I going to do? They're going to take the stewardship away from me. They're going to take all the money, all the property, the company, everything they give me the power. They're going to strip me of it. So what is he going to do? Say he cannot dig. Also, he cannot beg. And he said to himself, I have resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, that they may receive me into their houses. So he called every one of his master's debtors to him, and said to the first, how much do you owe my master? Sorry. And he said, 100 measure of oil. So he said to him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and write 50. You see what happened? He called the first person. The first person said he's owing 100 measure. He said he should sit down and write 50. Then he called another one. How much do you owe? And he said, 100 measure of wheat. And he said to him, take your bill and write 80. So the master commended the unjust steward because he had dealt shrewdly. For the sons of this world are more shrewd in their generation than the sons of the light. This man was doing everything to save himself from being rejected by his master. Though Jesus Christ however, Jesus Christ did not approve of his style. But let us go on. And so I say to you, verse 9, and I say to you, make friend for yourself by unrighteous mammon, that you fail, that when you fail, they may receive you in an everlasting home. He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. He who is unjust in what is least is unjust in what is much. Therefore, if you not being faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust true riches? And if you have not been faithful in what is another man's, who will give you what is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. You cannot serve God and mammon. What is Jesus Christ saying here? This is a story of a man. He was unfaithful to his master. But it's also a story of wealth management. It's a story of money management. It's about money and wealth management. Jesus does not approve of the steward's fraud. However, he tested our fitness to receive true riches of heaven by our use of material possessions. Jesus Christ tested our fitness to receive true riches, that is spiritual power, to receive spiritual blessing of heaven by the use of material possession. What is he saying here? God will put you to test. He will put some money, he will put you in care of some things. He put you some money into your trust. And it depends on how you carry out those assignments. It depends on how you want to do those finances that will determine if God can trust you with spiritual blessings. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. God can trust us with true riches, that is spiritual riches, if we are found faithful in handling less issues, such as money. That's verse 11. If you are found faithful in handling money, God can trust you with spiritual riches. Which one is more important? Is it important for you to be very rich in cash and in pounds and in gold and dollars, or to be very rich with spiritual power? Which one? In this world, I want you to speak back to me now. Which one is more of importance to you? Which one do you want most? I want you to be frank. Is it money, power, and wealth, or spiritual blessing? Which one do you want? Huh? Are you sure? Okay. All right. Money. Someone say money, someone say power. Okay. But I'm telling you today, power, money, fame, all these things, wealth, they are temporal. I will give you some instances. No matter how rich you are, if you fall sick, you will need healing. You will need healing. The story of Naaman. Naaman was a general of a Syrian army. He was a wealthy man. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of people under his control. He was a man of influence and power. But he had leprosy. And he cannot be cured. Then he had to leave Syria and go to Israel looking for a man of God for healing with all his money. All his money cannot provide healings for him. He has to go look for Elisha. The same thing of Moses. Moses was in Egypt. He went back to Egypt. And Pharaoh, with all his army, with all his power, Moses was more powerful than Pharaoh. Do you understand that? By one man, God delivered Israel, a whole nation, from Egypt. Pharaoh, Egypt, was the world power then. It was like America. It was as strong as United States of America then. They had the world power in those days. And Pharaoh was the king. But Moses alone, with the help of God, was able to deliver the Israelites, take them out of Egypt, and destroy all the army of Egypt. Praise the Lord. And that is spiritual power. That is the kind of power God is talking about. They say, if you cannot trust you with money, which is ungodly mammon, unrighteous mammon. That's what they say, unrighteous mammon. It's money. When he's talking here, say, 11. Therefore, if you are not being faithful, that is Luke 16:11. Therefore, if you having not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? If you are not faithful with what you are doing right now in the church, if you are not faithful with yourselves, if you are not faithful with your cell members, if you are not faithful in the assignment judge gave to you, if you do it only when you see the pastors, you are not faithful. If it's only when the pastor is here, you are doing it, you are upright, you are doing things correctly, you are not faithful. Who will trust you with true riches? Who will trust you with spiritual power? The Bible said Moses was the most meekest man on the face of earth. He has that power, but he will not use it. That is meekness. Many of you, if you are given spiritual power, little, the first thing you will remember is the person that offended you 10 years ago. Yes, you want to deal with the person. That's what you will remember. That's what you remember. It seems that the more we get money, the more we want. For many of us, for many people in the world today, the more money they get, the more money they want. And the more they get more money, the more selfish they become. I've seen that personally. I've seen many people. I'm not talking about small money now. I'm not talking about the few millions of naira. Real money. The more money many people in Nigeria get today, the more selfish they become. The more stingy they become. The more greedy they become. Because of money. And the Bible said, a man has no life of his own. Because the greed will consume him. The greed will consume him. So Jesus is teaching us that our willingness to bring money under control is necessary for our spiritual development. It's still teaching us that our willingness to bring money under control is necessary for our spiritual development. If you cannot control money, God will not give you spiritual blessing or power because He will misuse it. But if you can control money, if money doesn't control you, If you can control money, and money doesn't control you, then you are open to become a good steward. You'll be able to be a good steward. Remember that the steward, that we are steward of whatever privilege we have in life. I want you to know that. That you should know that we are all steward of whatever privileges we have in life. If it is power, money, position, authority, anointing, we are steward of it. It's transcends.